Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. I'm Carter and this is Nick once again. Say hey babe. Nick is working on some things today, but he's still here. So first I just would like to say thank you guys so much for still tuning in and hanging in with us as we continue on our journey. And had an interesting weekend, but still just pushing on. We're at, I think, 9 days past ovulation. Still no positive test, but we're still believing God. Really don't have much expectations this month because, like I said, we didn't really try, but only 2 days this month. But you know, it still could be a blessing in that. Just came to just chat with you guys for a little bit and just tell you about my experience that I had. I think it was Wednesday or maybe Thursday. But during this process, you know, just dealing with the whole journey, it's just, I've had some down days. And so, you know, I've just been still praying within my 2-week wait and just doing what I said I was going to do and just trying to, you know, feel God within the spirit and just get through this the best way I know how until, you know, God, you know, says yes to what we've been praying and asking God for. But I did want to tell you guys, you know, with the last video that we shot, we had some messages in our chat. And then we also I got some phone calls or, you know, on Facebook and, you know, people just saying that they're so proud of us and, you know, being able to have the courage to share our journey with you guys. But we appreciate you guys as well. And some of your messages and, you know, kind and encouraging words have helped us through the process. But I remember one thing that has been kind of just like, to me is people say, oh, well, you know, it's God's timing or it's just not your timing yet or, you know, things of that sort. And sometimes it's a little bit harder for me to process that. It's like when people say that, it's like, okay, well, what does that mean? Should I continue trying? Should I keep pushing? What does that mean? And so I kind of just, you know, took the time to go to God in prayer about this. And y'all excuse me, I am reading from my notes here. But I just took the time to go to God in prayer about it. And, you know, I just let him know that, you know, this process is just frustrating. What do you have for my life? What do you have for our life? Is being parents, you know, your will? Is this what you have for us? You know, is this our life to be childless or like, you know, tell me something. Is this gonna come for us? And if so, when? And as I got to the end of my page, bear with me, because I have like this little devotional book. It's not a devotional book, but it's just what I write my prayers in. And at the bottom of the page, it has like scriptures. And so at the bottom, it was Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1. And it reads, now faith is the assurance, which is confirmation of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. And so I'm like, okay, God, like, I hear you. And then, you know, I went and I was reading some of the messages on YouTube, and one of our very close friends, Bakari, had left a message quoting Mark 11:24, and that reads, for this reason I am telling you, whatever things you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received them and they will be given to you as well. And so I'm the type of person, I'm like, okay, God, I got these messages, but I need more. What else can you tell me? Like, show me something. And so I am a person that uses Google all the time. So I Googled, what did I Google? Does waiting on God for pregnancy mean not to try? And so it led me to this website for couples that were actually trying to conceive, and they were just looking for some encouragement. Well, as I began to read, these same two scriptures came back up. Hebrews 11:1 and Mark 11:24. And so to me, I was like, wow, okay. These scriptures have come up while I'm writing my prayers and from messages from people giving me scriptures for encouragement. And then I go elsewhere, these same scriptures come back up. I mean, it was just like, bam, here you go. Like, what else do you want from me? But I'm still the type of person, I'm like, okay, God, what does that mean? Like, do you still want me to try? Should we stop? Because if it's your will and if it's on your timing, it's just going to happen. I was still searching for answers. And so last night before I went to bed, I just again went to the Lord in prayer, and I just asked him for another sign, just something else. And, you know, I asked, you know, I always try lately to just, you know, talk to God in the spirit. And I just asked him to connect back with me in the spirit and give me a word, give me something on how I should move forward. And so, you know, that completed my prayer last night. And I was just like, just let it be through somebody, another Bible verse or a sermon, whatever it is, just give me something else. And so this morning I didn't make it to church, but I did get to stream. And so I came in the middle of the sermon. For those that go to Mount Zion, know Bishop Walker. And so he was in the middle of his sermon, which was called Confirmation Before Manifestation, which was really a powerful message about Hannah. And is the man's name Elkanah? Is that right?
I can't pronounce it.
I may be mispronouncing it, but I believe his name was Elkanah. And one second. I believe his name was Elkanah. And Hannah, she was one of two of the wives. And the other wife, she was able to conceive. She had, you know, already had a child. But Hannah, she hadn't conceived yet. And, you know, that was a hardship for her in her marriage as well. Because Elkanah just kind of kept going back to, is her name Peninnah? Her name was Peninnah. Forgive me if we're mispronouncing these words, but you get the picture. But Peninnah was the other wife. And so Elkanah just pretty much just gave up on Hannah, you know, gave up on believing God that, you know, this can happen for her too. It's like, oh, you just can't have children. And, you know, Hannah just kept believing, and she went to God in prayer. And it was a powerful prayer that, you know, she had with God, the time that she spent with God. And when it was time for her to leave, God told her, go home, it's already done. And she went home, she followed what God said. She came home a new person. She was just not the same. Her faith was so much better in God, and God delivered. God gave her a child with Elkanah. And that's the blessing in this story. It was the story was just so amazing. And, you know, just her going to God, you know, and talking to him in prayer and just asking him, you know, can you do this for me, you know, and still thanking God for it in advance. And so God gave her confirmation before her manifestation. And that was very powerful to me. And to me, I took that as, okay, God, you're telling me, or you're telling us, that's already done. Like, just keep working at what you're doing. Keep it up. And, I feel like I have, my answer at this time is to keep going. His timing is going to still work out perfectly, but I still have to do the work. Also, Bishop had mentioned, he said that the blessing, the manifestation is on its way to our house, and that this promise does not mean that we are exempt from the process. And that's true. We've been trying going on 3 years now, and we're not exempt from this process. Some people get it easier than, others, but we're not exempt from this process. And so that's why the name of our YouTube channel is The Longer the Wait, the greater the testimony, is because when God gives us our baby, it's going to be a major testimony, because we've been going at this for 3 years, waiting on God to deliver for us. And it's already done, and we just have to move forward and believe that. And although the journey isn't easy, but God never said that it would be easy. Like, we're gonna have some times where we're gonna be broken down, or just going through, and we're gonna have days where we're just the happiest people in the world. There's gonna be ups and downs for this, but I just want to say to people that are in the same place that we are, stay encouraged and keep going. It may not be your timing right now, but stay encouraged, keep going. If you do have a hard time, or you have one of those bad days, go to God in prayer and just ask for answers. Ask him for strength or endurance to just keep going. Ask God to help you through this process, because at the end of the day, or the end of the journey, you're going to appreciate the journey much more. You're going to appreciate not giving up, or, just saying, forget it, God. You didn't give it to me on my time, so I quit. But let's not mistake it. Like, there are going to be times that you're going to be fed up with God because he's taking too long. Because that, is me, or it has been me. But I have to get it back in my mind, like, okay, Carter, like, this is not how this works. This is not how this works, so get it together. And also, I just feel like through this whole process, he's the same one, because he's always just like, we just have to be patient. God is going to give this to us. The first time we conceived, it's like, forget it. I'm tired of going through this. I'm tired of every month we get a negative. I didn't even know what it felt like or what it looked like to get a positive pregnancy test. But once I just started giving my time to God, and just doing what I was supposed to do, and just being close to God and just living my life, is when it happened. It's unfortunate that it didn't last long, but I thank God for the opportunity. It was a good, amazing 5 days, and I hate that it ended, which yesterday was, the third year? The third year, from the day that all of this happened for us. But, we're still in good spirits, and God is going to do it for us again. So if you're going through the same thing, God is going to do it for you. If you've dealt with miscarriages or ectopic pregnancies, or just still trying and you're over a year, just, stay encouraged, keep going, and God is going to do it for you in his timing. And we just have to learn. It's not easy, but we have to learn to accept God's timing and not our own, because, things, it's just how it is. There's no explanation for it as far as me. I just wish that I can say, hey, God, can you give me a sign through somebody when it's going to be, so I can just chill. And then when it's close to the time, I'll just do the work. But it just doesn't work like that. So just stay encouraged. Keep going. You got something to say?
Yeah, just to chime in on what she said, I just want to share this with everybody. I'm no special person, and I tell you myself, like, I've had my days, even recently, where I broke down, not just from this process, but just my own personal issues. one thing I've just come to learn recently is that if you are struggling with something, you feel like that God has abandoned you, or if you feel like that every time you look around you can't catch a break, I encourage you to be whipped to weather that process, because the process through anything that's really worth having is never fun. You know, I'll be sitting here lying to tell you that oh yeah, this process is gonna be okay, you're gonna make it through it. But just like anybody, that sounds all good and fine right now, but it makes no sense and it doesn't make you feel better at that moment. But I encourage you to stick through that, welcome that process, because you were built for this. You were made for this. There's something in you that, you know, the universe, God, you know, whatever you believe sees in you for you to go through this process. And whatever that may be, whether it's pregnancy, whether it's school, whatever, I encourage you to stick through that, man, because at the end of the day, even the issues we're facing, I'm learning. I still don't even have a full handle on everything, but what I will say is that learning through this process, I've gained more knowledge-wise than I could if it was just given to me by just going through this process. The fact that it was never handed to me and I didn't get it on a silver platter, or God just didn't give it to me when I asked, what I know now, just from going through the process to get it, was far more valuable to me than it was if he just handed it to me. And I honestly could say at those times when we were pregnant, was I really what a father should be, or was I really that person mentally and spiritually that God asked me to be? And the part about the process, you really have to confront yourself. The hardest thing in the world is to really be honest with some things that you don't want to accept. And at some point I had to accept I was lazy, complacent, and you know, I was stagnant. Things were going good and I was okay, cool. But what I've learned is that you're strong enough to do what it is you want to do. You're strong enough to weather whatever it is that comes your way. I will tell you that the minute you sign yourself up for trying to do something good in your life and trying to do right, the devil will throw everything at you, because that's not the path that he wanted from you. The world, other people that ain't really in your circle, they want to see you defeated. They want to see you stuck and never rising above the pain that you're going through. But God ain't telling you that's not you. God is telling you that's not you, man. And just from being with my wife and going through this process, I've learned that the struggles that I'm going through, that's not me. And I refuse to let that determine who I am or what my situation is going to be like. I have to look towards the future. The hardest part is trying to look past right now. And the right now is the most important thing, because the future is months, weeks, and days and years away. I don't know what it's going to be like in the future, but right now I'm struggling, I'm hurting. And it sucks. It does. There's going to be tears. There's going to be sad days. There's going to be days you can't even focus. But I encourage you, man, just to weather that storm. I believe that everybody that's has something out there they set out to do, whatever's in your way, it ain't meant to stop you. And just like I heard from a motivational speaker recently, that if you quit right now while it's hurting and while it's bad, the thing that you want so much will never show up in your life. But you don't know what's going to happen if you keep going. And I choose, regardless of how much this hurt and how bad the days are, I choose to keep going. I have a lovely wife who picks me up even when I'm down. And, you know, I ain't finna take up too much of your time, but I just wanted to share that with you. You know, I'm not the strongest person in the world. There are times that I do need her to pick me up, because sometimes my faith and my confidence wavers. And, you know, luckily I was blessed enough to have somebody that wasn't going to look down on me when I had those times. So, you know, whatever you're going through out there, whatever you feel like you're dealing with, don't give up on yourself, and don't give up what the dream that God gave you. If you do have a dream and you have something that you really want, that was given to you. That wasn't something that somebody else put in you. That was given to you. That's yours. So don't give up on that, man. Because the reality of giving up, what the reality is of giving up, is far worse than the pain you're going through right now. If you give up, the reality is you'll never have it. You'll never see it. And I had to ask myself, and I had to ask my wife this. When it got really bad for us, I asked her, was the reality of giving up on having a child, and the reality of that decision would be we would never have a child. We would be on the sideline watching while everybody else that didn't give up had their child. And was that a reality that we could accept? I don't want to be 40. I don't want to be 50 and knowing that I had to go through a year of pain to get where I wanted to be. But the reality of not giving up is far much brighter than giving up. So, man, stay true to yourself, man, and just believe your process, man. You know, and you know, I like I said, I do thank God for my wife, because this process wouldn't be what it is. It wouldn't be worth going through if it wasn't for her. So, you know, to everybody out there that is watching, that is praying for us, I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. You know,
keep them coming, please.
Yeah, we appreciate them.
Yeah, because it helps.
You know, we gonna continue to weather the storm, and you know, whatever struggles that do lie ahead. You know, I'm not giving up. I refuse to. And you know, the whole point of the sermon today was that no matter how bad it gets, you still gotta do that work. You know, I know it's hard to keep trying and doing something, and you still don't see the benefit of it, but you don't know what's on the other end of that door if you keep going. Right. So, man, stay true to yourself, man. Support yourself. Believe in yourself. You know, for everybody that's praying for us, I'm praying for you. You know, for whatever it is that you have, I hope you get it. I hope and pray to God He blesses you with it. You know, just believe in yourself, man.
Yeah. Well, the last scripture that I wanted to share with you guys was Romans 12:12. And this was like a last scripture that I saw just, you know, going on Snapchat. And it says, constantly rejoicing in hope, steadfast and patient in distress, and stay devoted to prayer. I hope that, you know, this scripture helps you guys to keep going, keep thanking God in advance for what you're asking Him for, and just remember that it's already done. Just keep doing the work. This is our year 2018 of unsinkable faith. This is what I've been going through all year, well, for the last 4 months, having unsinkable faith. So you guys follow that journey with us as well, of having unsinkable faith. Keep going to God in prayer, no matter how many times you have to. Just keep doing it so that you will feel some type of comfort. And even if you have to ask God for 100 million signs like me, keep doing it, and God is still gonna deliver for you. That's what He's there for. So once again, thank you guys for listening. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment if you have something to say, comment a scripture if you need to, and subscribe. And we'll be back with you guys shortly, maybe another day with another video.
Like,
y'all have a good
share,
night.
Subscribe, be down for the ride. See you on the other side.
Bye, guys.